We're going to read a book called Little Beaver and the Echo by Amy McDonald and Sarah Fox Davies. Okay, let's see what Little Beaver and the Echo is about. Little Beaver lived all alone by the edge of a big pond. He didn't have any brothers, he didn't have any sisters. Worst of all, he didn't have any friends. One day, sitting by the side of the pond, he began to cry. He cried out loud. Then he cried out louder. See him sitting by the pond? Right here. There's little Beaver sitting by the pond, and he's very sad. Suddenly, he heard something very strange. On the other side of the pond, someone else was crying too. Little Beaver stopped crying and listened. The other crying stopped. Little Beaver was alone again. Boo-hoo, he said. Boo-hoo, said the voice from across the pond. Huh, what? Said little Beaver. Huh, what? Said the voice from across the pond. There's little Beaver sitting next to the pond, and he hears this voice, and every time he says something, he hears the voice that answers him. Little Beaver stopped crying. Hello, he called. Hello, said the voice from across the pond. Why are you crying? Asked little Beaver. Why are you crying? Asked the voice from across the pond. Little Beaver thought for a moment. I'm lonely, he said. I need a friend. I'm lonely, said the voice from across the pond. I need a friend. And there's little Beaver talking to somebody across the pond. Little Beaver couldn't believe it. On the other side of the pond lived somebody else who was sad and needed a friend. He got right into his little boat and set off to find him. And there's little Beaver getting into his little boat, getting ready to go across the pond to try to find who's talking to him. It was a big pond. He paddled and paddled. Then he saw a young duck swimming in circles all by himself. I'm looking for someone who needs a friend, said little Beaver. Was it you who was crying? I do need a friend, said the duck, but it wasn't me who was crying. I'll be your friend, said little Beaver. Come with me. So the duck jumped into the boat. See the duck next to the boat with little Beaver? They paddled and paddled. Then they saw a young otter sliding up and down the bank all by himself. We're looking for someone who needs a friend, said little Beaver. Was it you who was crying? I do need a friend, said the otter, but it wasn't me who was crying. We'll be your friend, said little Beaver and the duck. Come with us. So the otter jumped into the boat. See, there's little Beaver and the duck in the boat and the otter talking to them and about to jump in the boat. They paddled and paddled. Then they saw a young turtle sunning himself all alone on a rock. We're looking for someone who needs a friend, said little Beaver. Was it you who was crying? I do need a friend, said the turtle, but it wasn't me who was crying. We'll be your friend, said little Beaver and the duck and the otter. Come with us. There they are in the boat, and here's the turtle right here that they're talking to, who's sunning himself on a rock in the pond. So the turtle jumped into the boat, and they paddled and paddled until they came to the end of the pond. Here lived a wise old beaver in a mud house all alone. Little Beaver told him how they had paddled all around the pond to find out who was crying. It wasn't the duck, he said. It wasn't the otter, and it wasn't the turtle. Who was it? There they are in the boat talking to the old beaver at his house at the edge of the pond. It was the Echo, said the wise old beaver. Where does he live? Asked little Beaver. On the other side of the pond, said the wise old beaver. No matter where you are, the Echo is always across the pond from you. Why is he crying? Said little Beaver. When you're sad, the Echo is sad, said the wise old beaver. When you're happy, the Echo is happy too. And there's little Beaver talking to the wise old beaver at the edge of the pond about the Echo. But how can I find him and be his friend? Asked Little Beaver. He doesn't have any friends, and neither do I. Here's Little Beaver talking to the Big Beaver and say, how can I find Mr. Echo? And over here, except for me, said the duck, and me, said the otter, and me, said the turtle. See, they're his friends now. So he doesn't have no friends. He does have friends, the otter and the duck and the turtle. Little Beaver looked surprised. Yeah, he said, I have lots of friends now. And he was so happy that he said it again very loudly. I have lots of friends now. From across the pond, a voice answered him. I have lots of friends now. So, Little Beaver and the Big Beaver and his new friends, the duck, the otter, and the turtle, hear the voice of the echo that says, I have lots of friends now. You see, said the wise old beaver, when you're happy, the echo is happy. When you have friends, he has friends too. Hooray, said Little Beaver and the duck and the otter and the turtle all together. And the echo shouted back to them, Hooray! And that's the story of Little Beaver and the echo and how he found his good friends and the echo who would always answer and be happy when he was happy.